everyone, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. What's up? Um, I know that I disappeared out of thin air, and let me just take a second to be real with you guys. I'm just kidding. No, but I know I did disappear out of thin air for like a month, and that's really because I graduated officially. I graduated with my psychology degree and a minor in film. So like your girl is college graduated. But because of that, I was immediately thrusted into the trials and tribulations of adulthood that I just was not prepared for. And so ever since then, I've been down and out. Not really down and out, but I've just been like trying to like make my head catch up to where my feet like has been going, because I feel like I've been running. So it's like I've been like new job, new everything, like everything is just new. So it's like in that time I really just haven't had the chance to sit down and film. And I also had a video that I was going to put out, but then I just never got the chance to release it because it's like moving out of college, moving this, moving that, like it was just so many things going on. But excitedly enough, I am back. I'm going to try to be more consistent, guys. So like, don't quote me, but start to expect a video at least weekly. We'll see if I get crazy and start doing multiple weekly, you know. But for now, I would say let's lock in the boat for like at least weekly. But anyways, today we're going to be talking about Bridgerton season 3, mostly just all things Bridgerton related. The video that I just mentioned that I had for you guys, it was like a Bridgerton watch with me the trailer and reaction video. But unfortunately, because I didn't put it out, obviously you guys didn't see it. So it's like, now I'm like, should I even put that out? And the answer I feel like is no, because like this season has already dropped, like part of it at least. So it's like, do you guys even care what I had to say about the trailer? I don't know. But I'll try to integrate like some parts where like I talked about other things like in this video. But yeah, basically we're just going to like scrap that video and just get into all things Polin and everything, like Colin and Penelope, everything in this video. So I took some notes. So we're just gonna go through. I did some research before this video on like season 1 and season 2 Colin and Penelope, just because I wanted to make sure like I knew what I was talking about officially before I got on here and like just started chatting away. Because like, yes, I watched the show obviously and I've watched it many times, but like, you know, like I don't remember for like details that I wanted to like talk about too, because I also wanted to address some like Colin and Penelope hate, because I feel like those characters, like, it's so interesting because I feel like their season is like very much well liked so far, and like everybody like was down for it and excited for it. But I feel like there's also that bracket of people who like don't understand why we're getting their love story in general, or like they've been hating on Colin, saying he's like not that good looking, or like stuff like that. Like, and I feel like I haven't seen most of the hate, like, to be honest, but this is just what I'm hearing from like pieces like on Twitter or something like that. But I did some research so that I can come and say it before we talk about season 3, because I feel like it's important to go back and understand what I think other people are not understanding, quite frankly. So first of all, when I did my little rewatch, also I was watching my old, like my other Bridgerton video, which I feel like a lot of pressure now, because that video is actually like one of my most watched videos on my channel. I don't know, like it just has the most views. So like now it's like coming back to the another Bridgerton videos. Like I hope you guys like my takes. But when I was seeing my video, I was like, oh my gosh, I wonder where I'm going to be like when I'm watching this season. And I'm here and I'm like in a new apartment watching my show. So it's like slay. We're out of the dorms, we're out of the college dorms. But anyways, so I just want to put that. So like it's been a time, but like we watching it, we live. So anyways, so I wanted to first address the point of like people are saying that Colin's not really that hot, but like I want you to refer to that one dance scene that he has with Penelope in the first season, episode 1, refer to that scene where Cressida spills that drink on Penelope and Colin's like, actually, I don't want to dance with you. I'm going to dance with my girl over here. Because not only was that just like, yes, bestie ship. She looked good in that scene at that ball. So like, if you ever like are just wondering like, like what's going on here, refer to that scene. And then debate with me on whether you think he's hot or not, because he is. And that's just proof right there. Second of all, people are saying that like, oh, Colin always overlooked Penelope and like stuff like that, and like he didn't really even want her, so like why does she want him kind of vibe. Second of all, like I noticed something else. I noticed that he was almost always the one to start the conversation with her. Like almost 90% of the time when they talked, he started the conversation. So it's like, clearly he values her opinion and her presence. Like, because personally, if I see somebody in a room that I don't want to talk to, I'm not going to talk to them. So him doing a whole trek across the dance room floor or whatever to go talk to her clearly shows that she at least has some importance in his life. So like, let's make that note. Second of all, I just also want to note that yes, everyone was saying that Colin was on down bad for Penelope, blah blah blah, but basically she was holding the down battery for both of them. Because when I tell you my girl was down bad, like she was ready to cut Marina. Okay, like she was like, don't talk about my man like that, don't try to trap my man, don't try to do nothing to my man. And then when Marina found out, she was like, Colin isn't serious anything other but a sister like Eloise. But let's just remember that Selena Gomez once said that she saw Justin Bieber as like a brother to her. So it's like, romance is not dead. Like you hear that on Bridgerton, romance is not dead. Like it's pending, as a matter of fact. So anyways, so she was my man out. But Colin was like, I feel like any girl, well, not any girl, but like think about the time that they're in. Like, okay, first of all, we're all bored probably. Like there's nothing really to do. And she's over here, right? And she's just living her own life, slay. And yes, she has a crush on Colin and stuff, but it's not like he not doing anything to encourage her delusions. You know what I'm saying? Like he comes up to her, he talks to her, like of course you'd be giggling and kicking your feet. Like if you were just like in that time period and you were just doing you, and then you were kind of having a bestie ship with like one of the eligible bachelors of the town, like you would kind of go crazy too. Like I don't know, like I feel like people are not tapping into that reality. Like you would be doing that at that time, or even now you would. So don't do too much on Penelope because she's quite valid for that. And second of all, like I think Colin's personality is like very misunderstood. Like I think people take him into the wrong context. You know what I mean? And I feel like we need to take into account that he, first of all, is one person in a big family. Like he's like the third brother, third of the oldest, like that oldest section. And then there's still more after him. So at one point he was the last child. Then at another point he was like kind of like giving middle child. So it's like, how do you not expect him to have like consistent identity crises? Like clearly from what the plot shows us that he kind of feels like he doesn't know what his purpose is and he's kind of insecure. But it's like from what they give us on how like there's all these siblings to take care of, you know, and all these, and you know, the girls have to get married off like this, you know what I mean? Like there's so many things to consider. And you know, Anthony being the first, he has like all this agency, whatever, like, and the second kid, like what happens to the second kid, what happens to the, like, you know, the first are always like important, and then there's the rest. So it's like obviously he would not really, he is struggling with his identity like as someone that's one of many and not one of one. Similar to Penelope, like she's like the last daughter, and like everything is just not about her. Like the world, obviously you don't want like anyone to have a full head or full of themselves or something like that. But it's like they're two like kind of wallflower like characters. Like nothing really revolves around them. They kind of just like there in the family. You know what I mean? Like obviously their family still loves them and stuff, but it's like I feel like they can bond in that unique way. It was like they're like, I don't know, the underdogs of their family kind of. So it's like, how can you like not understand that about Colin to me. Like, I think that explains like almost everything in his behavior. Like, why he's always trying to be like seen, why he's always trying to do something interesting, like traveling around. I'm not saying he doesn't have a passion for traveling, but I'm saying I feel like these are where these things come from. Like, just wanting to be seen and understood, you know? So it's like, I think when he said that thing in the ball too, like they were saying, oh, that's the worst thing I said or whatever. Like, you have to understand that he's trying to fit in with these groups of people. And I think in his head, obviously, Pen is important to him and he likes her. But like in his head, it hasn't clicked for him, obviously, romantically. So he's going to say something like that. Now, did he have to say the way that he did? No. But it's like, I feel like he didn't mean it intentionally. It's very like, he's kind of just like matter of fact kind of vibe. Like, oh yes, no, I would never date Penelope. Like, and like, he's gonna eat his words in season 3. So like, what are you guys worried about? What are you guys worried about? So yeah, and Colin's just, he's always been there for Pen. So it's like when even like in the last of season 2, like with that whole Ruby thing, first of all, he's always like holding her hand and like being so close to her. Like, so follow society norms. Like, I know you don't think of her romantically, but hello, like back it up. Anyways, but even with the Rubies, like that one scene when he held her hand and like got her into that room and Penelope was like, it's my time. She was like, it's my time. It's my time. She was like, it's my time. Girl, you could have been more wrong. Like, he was just trying to give you the tea on the scandals. And I just love that they also always giving each other the tea. Like, that's real bestie ship. Like, if you were in that time, wouldn't you want to get together with the guy that you've had a crush on that's also been giving bestie and you guys have been having a cackle like on the side of every single ball? Like, me personally, that serves romance. Like, so yeah, I just feel like we just need to touch on that before we get into season 3. So now let's go into season 3. So Colin, first of all, speaking of Colin, did he just like some gua sha or something, like some jaw exercises? Like, that jaw is sharp this season. Like, it can cut, slice, you know, do a little fruit ninja feature. I don't know. Like, it gives very seriously sharp jawline. And I love that for you, Colin. I love that for you. He's probably doing a little, you know, I don't know what those called, like you know, those stones, special stones for gua sha. He probably picked one up like on his travels and he was doing it every day, like had a little routine. Anyways, so Colin, I feel like the roles are reversed and I like to see it. Like, Colin was definitely the down bad one of the season. Like, he came in being like, so I wrote to you and you didn't write back. What's up with that? And Pen was like, get away from me. Simply, I overheard you and what about it? So Colin was giving like, please, like he was begging for that apology. Like, he was like, you know I didn't mean it. Like, Pen, you're important to me. And okay, Colin, work harder. But basically, I really loved the fact that she had a new love interest though, because I didn't want her to be there like pining after Colin. Absolutely not. Like, she's carried the weight of this crush like to this point, and I needed Colin to carry the rest, and he did. So let's get into that. But he said he seeks her out at every social gathering. So it's like, you know, like, you are important to me. He told her that, and that really confirms my research of how I saw in the first 2 seasons 90% of the conversations he started. So it's true. Colin's not lying. He's not a liar, guys. He's not a liar. He's actually true to his word, and he remembers how they met like he does. So it's like, that's slay of him. It really is. It's slay of him to remember. So it's like, obviously he's oblivious, but like, at least he's not oblivious and stupid. Like, at least he's not like just like discounting Penelope completely, you know? Like, he still knows the value that she has in his life, and he's saying that, but he just doesn't understand the romance of it yet. So like, okay, so I really liked like how he like came in and apologized, but also I like that she gave him a hard time about it, because like, you know, as she should. And then them doing that whole little I'll find you, help you find a husband vibe, like, Colin, okay, like, slay, like, he's just going against all the like societal norms of helping her find a man. Now, but Penelope, she didn't know how to flirt. She didn't know how to do nothing. Well, like, just like me, for real, because Do I know how to do any of those things? No. But she was really getting a Colin Bridgerton masterclass. But it wasn't really working. So it's like, can you say sabotage? I can say sabotage because Colin, like, maybe your masterclasses were not masterclassing at that point because she didn't secure anything. But in like the final round, she kind of secured Lord Devlin a little bit. And so that's when I really see Colin kind of came alive in this like situation because he's like, hold on. I might have masterclass a little too good because now he's trying to take my girl. He's trying to take my girl. And Colin was not having a bar of it. He wasn't having a bar of it. But also when he was training her, like, you know that scene where she like goes and reads his journal? Like, girl, first of all, what? Girl, put that down. Put that down. But also, when he saw it, when he saw her reading it and he was like angry about it, let's remember that angst for later. Okay, like let's remember the scene for later because I want to talk about it. But I just feel like in the season overall, the season part 1, I had a bit of trouble. Like, I think just because I haven't been watching Bridgerton, like rewatched it in a while, maybe I'm forgetting like how much attention all the other side characters do actually get. But for some reason, maybe because I'm just more invested in this particular storyline, not saying that the other seasons were not good, but like ever since, as I said in my other video, I've been waiting for Colin and Penelope because I saw that like they're the only characters that we've seen like, okay, there could potentially be something there from the beginning. You know what I mean? Like obviously Daphne came, it was her season, boom. Anthony came, boom, was the season, new girl came in. But Colin and Penelope are like main characters that have been there this whole time. So it's like, obviously I was like, oh yeah, now we kind of get into the tea, we get into the people. So it's like, I have possibly been so invested in this storyline in particular. So it's like, I just wanted more scenes of them. But I feel like looking back at it now, we did get an appropriate amount of scenes because we still have like more of a season to go. I keep forgetting about this whole 2-part the business because the first 2 seasons were not in 2-part. Let's just like reconfirm that it just was not. So like, what's still this? Anyways, but I feel like it only feels like we got less of them because it was literally like 1 part. But now that I'm looking back, we actually did get so much for half a season. You know what I mean? So it's like, and knowing that there's more to come, I feel like overall we'll get a lot of scenes of them. That makes sense. So like, let's not get pissed off about that. Let's not get pissed off about that. But basically, from what we know from part 1, everybody's been watching, like all 1100 billion people in the world. So like, obviously, like I don't have to go into too much detail. I'm just kind of speeding along from what like I want to go to. But basically, Colin's like, don't like Lord Devlin at all. Like, he's not for you, babe. Because he started to get jealous. Why? Because Penelope came to him. Well, he came to Penelope actually. See, he's always like finding her. Like, he bribed the freaking like maid or like lady in waiting. I don't know what they're called. But he bribed her so he can like see Penelope at night. And she came down and she was like, Colin, listen, I'm gonna need you to kiss me right now because I'm gonna die tomorrow and I don't want to die ever being kissed. And he was like, excuse me? Hello? And she was like, yes, as a matter of fact, yes, I'm being real. And he's like, well, okay, I guess I'll kiss you. And then he kisses her and then boom, something goes off in his brain. Like finally it's all clicked to him that is the girl that he wants. And honestly, love that for you, Colin Bridgerton, because all it took was 1 kiss. So I feel like seeing that it only took 1 kiss, obviously there was some underlying feelings there that he just never realized, guys. Like that means it really didn't come from nowhere. Because me personally, I can't imagine kissing somebody for the first time really just making me want to marry them like 2 days later, like, you know, with no foundation. So obviously the foundation is there and the kiss just made him realize that, oh yeah, we have everything to make it work. Like we have the chemistry, we have the banter. You know, he's ticking his boxes, yeah? Like, I'm on my Love Island kick right now, guys. But he's ticking his boxes, yeah. So it's like, why would he not want to interrupt what's happening with Lord Devlin? So basically, Lord Devlin says he wants to propose and whatever. And Penelope is kind of for it because at this point, she doesn't even think she's had a chance of falling. So she's like, you know what, whatever. And I'm Lady Whistledown. So it's like, I need time to write. And Lord Devlin's like, apparently never there. So he was like, they're like, oh, this is getting perfect. But then Violet Bridgerton, the mother of all mothers herself, the mother of courtship herself. One thing about her, she's really good at like both silently meddling and like in front meddling. Like she's just a meddler to her core, but she's very, very sleek and very professional about it. Like it should be her job. Like Bridgerton matchmaking, somebody give her her own show. Give her her own show. Violet Bridgerton matchmaking 101. But basically, Lord Dublin's like about to propose, and like he asked like Lady Featherington, and Lady Featherington, of course, she's like yapping about, and she's like, "Oh, it's gonna happen tonight." And obviously, Violet leaks this information to Colin. She's like, "Oh well, it's pity you won't be at the ball. I heard from the grapevine." And he was like, "Oh." So obviously he rushes over, he changes his mind, he rushes over to the ball to confess his feelings, and he's like, "Lord Dublin, get the fudge out of my way." And Penelope's annoyed at this actually, because she's like, "What the fudge? Like, I'm about to get my man and you're in the way," because obviously she has no idea that Colin actually likes her. But like also I feel like that's so true, because you know how Colin didn't have any idea that Penelope liked him? No, she just really didn't have a clue. And I feel like all the signs were kind of right there. Like he was getting very, very down bad. Like she was getting down bad. And they just oblivious besties. So like birds of a feather flock together. Like, come on. So anyways, she's like pissed off, and she's like, "You know what, Colin? Get the forge out of my face." So then she runs away, you know, gets into her carriage or whatever. And Colin's like, "You know what? I'm a track star." So he runs after her carriage. He gets in there. He confesses his feelings to her, and he's like, "Listen, it's you, baby. It's you for me, and I didn't realize that, but now I do." And the carriage scene happens. We don't know what happened in that scene, but it was very, very, very like, I don't know. It was very like, yes, like this is it. Like, you know, very light bulb moment. I feel like they touched into that really good, and like made him be like, yes, and her being like, "What was I just transpiring right now?" I feel like they captured that really well. Like he was like, "Yes, it's been you. It's always been you." And she's like, well, I don't know if he said it's always been you, but basically he's just like, "Yeah, it's you." And she's kind of like, "Colin, stop lying. Stop lying." You know? Because obviously, like, she would think he was lying. But, and then they like start making out and stuff, and it's like, everything we've always wanted for them is happening in front of our screens. To Pitbull. Slay. Like I love orchestral version, like of anything. So it's like, thank you for giving me that song in orchestral version. Thank you very much. Thank you. Love you guys. Oh, everything to you guys. But we all know about the carriage scene. Like, I'm not gonna really get into it because, like, what more can I really say than it delivered? And Nick and Luke did their thing. Like, they did. Like, they carried in the carriage. And yeah, so that's basically it. Like, I didn't want to talk about the other plots too much because it's like, I feel like I can do that in my second half video. I just kind of wanted to talk about like what Colin and Penelope went through this season particularly. So they went through like kind of three phases. They were in their small angst era, like minor angst era. Then they were in their matchmaking mode. Colin was his matchmaking era. He was trying to like take some skills from his mom. Didn't work out for him. Then he was in his jealous era. Because he was like, no, like actually no, like that kiss was amazing. I dream of it every night. Like, yeah. So they were in there, like, he was in his jealous era, and Penelope was in like my I need to get married now era. And then they were back to angst for like 2.5 seconds, and then they were like in their lovers era officially. So we'll see what happens. I did see the trailer for the next season, and it's a lot of stress happening. I feel like there's a lot happening. Like, the whole thing is like, he might find out that she's Lady Whistledown, and I don't even know how he's going to react to that. I have really no idea. Like, I don't know what's the time frame. Like, is she going to tell him like after they're married, like before? I'd hope it's before, but then after, if it's after, it's like, okay, like we can make the arguments that like, you know, like, yes, you told me this and I'm upset with you, but like I love you despite Like if we can get that from Colin, then like I mean, like that's a win to me. Like I love you despite anything and everything. I'd like to hear that from Colin, like Colin. So I won't mind. Plus, on angst kind of gave like when he was mad at her like at that book, and then he really, like and she was like helping him bandage his little cut, and he was like, "Oh wait, what's this?" Like, you know. So it clearly showed in that scene too that Colin kind of handled angst well. Like he's angsty with her for like 2 seconds, and he's like, "Oh my baby," you know. So maybe he's gonna be angsty for like 2.5 seconds, and he's like, "Oh my baby." But I really hope Eloise and like Penelope like just really patch this up. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, I understand like how like you know because Lady Whistledown, she's really been like reading everyone for filth, like she has, and she's been being very slanderous. Like it's true. But I feel like Eloise, knowing like Pen being her best friend and stuff, I feel like she knows exactly why Penelope is doing this, and she knows it's her. So I feel like she should give her a little bit more grace and room to like explain herself, you know. And I feel like she has constantly explained herself. So I feel like for her to hold it against her and be like, "You must tell Colin." Like I understand she's trying to protect her brother, but at the same point, it's like, girl, what exactly do you think? Like I feel like they've just been friends enough for her to know that obviously Penelope is going to be scared because she's finally gotten everything that she's wanted, like Colin being in love with her, and no, you want to tell her that she's Lady Whistledown and like potentially make him never speak to her again. Yeah, like obviously she's going to be scared about that. So, but I don't think it's going to be a big deal. I think, you know, in the end they're going to like patch things up, obviously, like they're best friends forever and about to be sister-in-laws. So like obviously there's gonna be a reconciliation there. But I'm excited to see like what their married era is serving, like with all the interviews and everything from like Nick and Luke, which has been killing the press tour, by the way. Like I really love when your ship in a show is like very much a fan of the ship in real life as much as you are a fan, because it's just like we get so much more content that way, and it's just chef's kiss. So anyways, I feel like the honeymoon era per interviews is going to be slay and sweet. And as everyone's saying, it's really been giving rom-com, which it has. And I feel like the other characters too are playing into that because, you know, we get in Lady Bridgerton might get a man, like, you know, Lady Danbury's like brother. I've been seeing them call him Lord Danbury, but like, wasn't she Lady Danbury because of her husband? So I don't feel like his name is Danbury. But anyways, like him, and then there's a Francesca and John. Also, other people have been saying that John isn't good looking either. Like, are you guys dumb? Asking for a friend. Anyways, so there's them to focus on, and then there's like just a bunch of other things. There's like the Federation sisters that like have like they're on a race to like be, well, I think both of them are pregnant now, but they were on a race to like have a baby because, you know, their mom kind of like forged the documents and was like blah 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 blah. So like no, they have to produce an heir like right now, like fast. So we have all those things to consider, but I'm so excited to see what like Colin and Penelope do next, you know, because right now like we left off on him being like, "So will you marry me or no?" And she was like, "Of course." Like, so he's going to bring her into Bridgerton house to announce that, and everyone's going to be there. So we're going to see how that plays off. But I'm so excited. I'm filming this now so I can put it out tomorrow, which is Thursday. So officially after Thursday, it's going to be a week away. Like a week away. Like next Thursday, we will all be sat again. And I know we're all like mad about the like, you know, marketing scheme of them like putting it into 2 parts. But let's not act like we weren't all sat that first Thursday. I mean, we are gonna be sad again. So kudos to them for like duping us, I guess. Like it did still work. We still did watch it. So like I guess the angst of us didn't even matter. Like it's still, we were still there. We still forgave them and sat down. So like not too much on Colin's angst if he does have a lot, like, and not too much on Penelope's angst if she does have a lot too in the second half. Like we're only human. And despite our own like pushback, if the circumstances are right, we still end up giving it anyways. And a good example of that is us still watching even though we vex and I made it 2 parts. So yeah, So I hope I really tackled on everything I wanted to tackle on. Like, I feel like when you're talking about something you're so passionate about and you have so many things to say, but like you don't want to be talking about it forever, it's like, what do you even say? And I feel like I just ramble a lot. Like, that's one of my personality traits. Like, similar to Colin, being unsure of things. I'm very much certain that one of my personality traits is being a rambler. I just talk about anything. So let me just go back for my notes and see. Like, oh yeah, I did mention like, oh my gosh, he remembers how they met. A very Peter Kaminsky of him because, like, yeah, he remembered them meet cute. Like, and he reminded her of it. So, like, haters, what you gotta say about that? And he wrote to her like all the time, like continually, even though she wasn't answering. So clearly, he still wanted to hear back from her. He had hope that she'd one day answer back. So, like, if that's not done bad, I don't know what to tell you guys. And yeah. And they both have an almost confession, which I thought was interesting. Like, when Penelope was telling Colin about like you were in love, and I think I wrote it down here actually. She was telling him about declarations, and she was like, declarations have to be proud and firm, and like you have to be loud about it, and stuff. Kind of like to that vein, I like Daphne, I think, and the Duke's like party thing. And full circle moment, well, she was about to confess to him, and then he like interrupted her and was like, I'm peacing out. And so she didn't say anything. But when his mother told him about like, best friends can't be lovers, like he was going to confess to her too, and then he didn't. So they both have an almost confession, but also back to that point of declarations being like proud and firm and stuff like that. Like, his declaration was, and I still feel like we haven't even seen, like, he didn't even say I love you yet. So it's like, I can't wait for that. Like, they haven't even exchanged the four-letter word yet. So like, we still have a lot to go. So I feel like it's gonna be good for us. It's gonna be good for us Polin shippers. So yeah. And I think he also just loves her writing too. So I think it's going to be interesting to also hear what he says about like Lady Whistledown. Because I think, okay, yes, he's going to be mad probably, but like I think also it's kind of unique to probably possibly think about how like he would still value her work still after that, like that conversation. I'm also interested to see how, what was it I was going to say? I think I'm also interested to know how exactly Penn tells Colin that she's always had a crush on him, because I did see a scene, like, in the trailer or wherever it was from. I'd just be seeing scenes now, and I don't know where they're from, who released them, but she was saying, I've always loved you. But that better not be it. Like, I needed in-depth, like, oh, so Colin, by the way, like, I know, like, we're here and we're getting married and all this stuff, but I just really need to say that I've actually liked you ever since I saw you. Like, I need that. Like, I need that conversation. I need to see his reaction. Like, it hit him. Like, oh wow, whoa, like I really hit the jackpot here, because she really has been there for me forever and loved me despite everything, And also, funny enough, like I didn't catch the whole window thing. Like when she was talking about the window and when she like sits in the window, it didn't even click my mind that like he literally lives across the street. Like, why did that not click for me the first time around? I don't know. But I caught it later on and I was like, oh my gosh, wait, what? Like, she really do be like stalking him just a little bit. But honestly, he should be proud of that, because she takes the time to stalk him in her busy day, writing about the tongue gossip. It's giving Find My Friends, like she just doing a casual look out the window. And well, now I'm just going for random tidbits, but Colin, when he was singing in that one episode, like when whoever was playing the piano, can we circle back to that? Like, I need another performance. Colin, I need another performance. Thank you. And Marina telling her that her love for Colin is an unrequited fantasy gagged her, but also Marina, now she's living that fantasy. So what you have to say about that? And yeah, I just feel like, yeah, Colin. But one thing about Colin, he will give an impromptu engagement. He was just like, yeah, now. Like, he did the same with Marina. Well, not the same, but he was like, yeah, let's get married. And the Bridgertons were gaggified. But I feel like in this situation, it's actually warranted because, like, they've known each other for so long. So, like, why wouldn't you say that? But one thing about him, he's an expert in just getting right to the point. So, shout out to you for that, Colin Bridgerton. You may not have known what your purpose is, but I think that most definitely you do have tact for getting right to the point. So yeah. So thank you guys for watching this video. It's a little long, but I hope you guys watch it. And if you don't, that's fine too. But I'm very, very happy to be back, and I hope to see you guys in the next video, whatever it is. Hopefully it's just getting straight to part 2, but hopefully I can find something else to give you in the meantime. To my All-American watchers, I'm behind severely, I'm aware, but it's just like sometimes, like, some episodes just really piss me off so much that it's just like I cannot with them sometimes. But whenever I get my Bolivia-centric, like, full-on episodes, like more than 2-3 scenes, like, it always eats for me. But it's like unfortunate that those episodes are like every other or every 2 other episodes. So it's like, at this point, what am I really holding out hope for? But this fastest episode is really good, so like hopefully I can catch up like on my reactions here, because I am caught up now. I know like everything that's happened, so hopefully I can catch up and get something all to you guys. But anyways, I love you guys, all 26 of my subscribers. Shout out to y'all. Thanks for watching, and see you guys soon. Bye.